What you was him was that's just about half of life being this man.
Oh my soul.
No, I'm you don't know. This did an interview.
How you go first? You need to start down there. You need to start down there. No, like you're a right-handed person. That's
What you mean? So I just don't know. What's with
bro, y'all didn't want to do it this whole time. Y'all didn't want to do it this whole time. Don't sit there and switch it up.
Somebody said that St. John didn't want to do it. You said it.
Class is coming. This is early. I don't need to fill up that back.
I hope you feel like I'm not doing something. You really do like that.
I thought it was supposed to be a kid. Miles, come on, bro.
Oh yeah, people.
A young person, that makes the most sense.
Okay, people. Okay, don't worry. You see that? Wait, why is
Okay, can everybody hear me? Oh,
Yeah.
it sounds staticky. Hold on. Okay. Are we live? We're good. Okay. Oh, I'm stepping on something. Okay, so hello everybody. My name is Jeremiah Jett, and I am the host of Youthful Conversations. I started Youthful Conversations about a year ago, and for season 1, we have been very successful. We had won Best Podcast in the Tri-Area in our first season, and also achieved over 40,000 views, all in our first season with 15 episodes. And for season 2, we have partnered with Guilford County Schools, so we have been in three different Guilford County schools so far, hosting our podcast live. And so far for season 2, we are sitting at just over 200,000 views with 5 episodes. So today we're hosting it live at Southwest Guilford High School. We have a panel of students from Southwest High School. We're going to go down the panel. Everyone's going to introduce themselves, names, grade, and I guess we'll just do that. Names, grades, and I have questions sourced from young people from Southwest. So I met with a few of the students here, and I do have some questions and topics sourced from you guys. So this is an interactive discussion. So if you ever want to say anything, we will pass the mic to you guys so you guys can interact with the conversation. So if you have a question, you want to add input to the discussion, feel free to like raise your hand or say something. We'll bring you the mic so that way everybody can hear you, and then it can be recorded for the podcast. All right, everybody good? All right, so everyone remember it's interactive, so if you ever have anything to say, you can. So we're gonna go down the panel and introduce ourselves.
My name is Wade Watkins. I'm in the 11th grade.
My name is Braden Gatlin. I'm in the 10th grade.
My name's Anai Harris. I'm in 11th grade.
My name is Jasenia Polanco. I'm in the 10th grade.
My name is Miles Graves. I'm in 10th grade.
So for you guys, that mic is for y'all. So y'all share between y'all three, and then we'll share this one. All right, so we're gonna hop right into our first topic: teenage relationships. How do teenage relationships shape our emotional development, and what long-term impact can they have on us?
Maybe I said, what was the question? I'm not like that.
How do teenage relationships shape our emotional development or shape who we are? And what long-term impact can they have on us?
I think a teenage relationship can shape who we are by I don't know, like maybe giving us insight to like what we know we like in the future, what we don't like. Uh yeah, yeah.
I guess kind of like knowing how we should, or like how we feel we should be treated as like a person, as friends, as people.
I'm gonna say relationships are much more than just like romantic. So like a lot of people view relationships as just like romantic. So between you and a significant other, whether that be a man, a girl, or whatever. So a lot of people view relationships in that one lens, but relationships are much more than just romantic. So it's family, it's friends, it's business. These are all kinds of different relationships and how they can then just the impact they have on us. But the main focus for this question is like romantic relationships. So for teenagers, the way romantic relationships can affect you are you carry the past trauma of your past relationship with you to a next one. So for example, let's say you get cheated on in a relationship, you'll carry trust issues, you'll carry the thought of being cheated on, you'll carry all these negative emotions with you if you don't deal with that into your next relationship. So relationships at a young age really determine or they help us create a image of what we believe relationships to be. So I say be careful with that.
I think it helps with like life lessons and how to go in the future.
I think relationships in your teenage years can help you decide what boundaries you want to set in the future with your significant others and for like family members, friends too. Um and yeah, I think that's pretty much.
I also think it helps with life lessons and like how to about your future.
All right. Anybody want to add to that? Anyone want to say anything? Ask questions? We good so far? All right. Our next question is, what is the biggest mistake young people make in relationships and how can we avoid them?
Not talking to their parents and being completely transparent about what they've been through when they were younger and respecting that advice. That'll take a lot of learning.
Anybody else?
Well, I think a big mistake that we make in relationships is like open honesty, just the truth. A lot of people can't handle the truth, and when you can, that's a good thing. But when you can't, you won't be wanting to hear certain things. Yeah.
Maybe not being like open-minded to like what's going on in the other person's life or like what they've been through, their experiences, and like just expecting one thing from them or like a certain thing when in reality is more to it than just that.
I would say the biggest mistake young people make is we don't advocate for ourselves. We go in a relationship and we take whatever is handed to us and expect and we think that's what we deserve. And no one asks people, we all know we deserve like love. We all want love. We all want respect. We all want to be treated as humans and be valued. And then you'll go into a relationship and you'll lose all sight of that. And you'll be in love with a person and let them treat you any kind of way. And you'll deal with it for however long you want to deal with it. And then you'll lead a relationship and be like, dang, bro, I didn't have to go through all that. I wanted to be treated with love. And this person gave me love whenever they wanted to. Or I wanted to be respected and they didn't even respect me at all. They just treat me as another person or not even as another person. So I say we don't advocate for ourselves enough. You got to know what you want and you got to fight for it every single day.
I would say like not enough communication or honesty.
I think a big mistake is not getting to learn the person you're with, like these 2-week talking stages and expecting to be in a relationship for 4 years. It's not going to work. You have to understand who you are as a person before you get into a relationship, because there's a lot of there's a lot of back and forth between that. So I think that's a big one.
And I think another big mistake is not being able to communicate with each other and just not being honest.
I think a big mistake that we make is not learning how to love ourselves before we get into a relationship.
I think a big mistake is not caring. Caring about the other person. Knowing what they do in a relationship.
Anybody else? We good? All right. My next topic is how to set yourself apart as a teenager. What habits and mindsets separate successful teenagers from those who struggle to find their own path?
I think a good mindset to have is like that what everybody else don't matter. Like what everybody else doing don't matter to you. Like everything everybody else do don't dictate what you do in life. That shouldn't have, that shouldn't set a standard for what you can do. Like say your brother do something in his life and then your friends doing this. You don't gotta do the same thing as that because that's not your path. You just gotta do your own thing.
I feel that like your habits and mindset should match what you want to do or like what you think you might want to do in life. I play basketball and like if I didn't work on my game or like play basketball at all, I wouldn't be able to like be good at basketball or nothing like that. So I just feel like what you do and like your mindset should like match and like should equal out the approach to like what you want to be in life and your goals in life.
I would say the biggest thing that separates successful teenagers from teenagers who struggle to find their own path is the mindset of failure. A lot of young people are scared to fail. And I'm here to tell you that failure is just the start of success. What's make people rich and famous and successful and however they view success is they know that failure is just the next step to success. If you look at somebody successful, they probably failed hundreds of times, thousands of times. But the thing that made them differently is that they learned from it and then they took what they learned from failure and then they applied it to their next attempt at being successful. You got to get out of the mindset of being, oh, this person's going to judge me. Oh, I'm about to fail. Oh, I don't want to fail. If you want to be successful and you want to do what you want to do, you got to get up. You got to go work at it. You got to go fight for it. And most importantly, you got to strive for it because no one can fight for your dream. No one's going to fight for success for you harder than you. You can't have your mom all the time being like, all right, it's time to get up, go to school. All right, time to get up, go to work, go get some money. At some point in your life, it's now on you to be successful and for you to be successful in however you want to be successful.
I think it's like what they said, like having goals and stuff and just doing what you need to do to be successful in life.
I think the biggest mindset that you need to have is to not give up and not give up on yourself. Cause I've done that plenty of times, especially with school. School has really like kicked my butt this year. I'm just being honest, but last semester I had like 50s and 40s and I ended up finishing with all A's and I think 2 B's. So I really did not give up and I don't think anyone else should. But also like waking up every morning, having something that you're looking forward to is it really helps. It really does. I think that's something everyone should have.
I think what separates a lot of teens is just discipline and work ethic, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm an athlete, so I work hard and you got to be disciplined Cause every day I gotta go get up shots or I'm not gonna be good. Like what Braden said, you know what I'm saying? It's just discipline.
All right. I'm gonna jump to the next topic. So the next topic is the pressure to be perfect in a digital age. I don't know which question I want to ask. All right. Do young people feel more pressure to be perfect because of social media, or has this always been a part of growing up?
I think that it's always been a part of growing up. I think it's just at a different level now because you have more access to seeing everything that's going on around you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like even our parents before them, like when they were kids, saw how people were living life and still and, like wanted those kind of lives. But I feel like he said, with social media, like it's just been boosted, and now you see like everybody, whether it's in another state, another country, like so.
I would definitely say social media has blown it way out of proportion. Like you can go on social media and find somebody living your exact dream life to a T. Like say you go on social media and you have a dream to be in the biggest house with the nicest cars and with a few $1,000,000. You can go on TikTok or Instagram or any social media site and you can find somebody living that exact life. And when you see somebody living that life and then you are looking at your life and you're like, dang, I don't got $1,000,000. I ain't got a nice house, nice car. I just got the bare minimum. It makes it harder to get up and do something because you're comparing yourself because you're like, I can't achieve what they've achieved. I'm just sitting here in my room playing Roblox, playing Fortnite or whatever, and I ain't doing nothing. It makes it hard. And I say social media has definitely made it like 10 times harder.
They're gonna want you to see you posted up in that big house with money, but they don't want you to see all the problems going on in their life. Or in reality, that big house might be rented. So it just creates an unrealistic standard. And when you try to compare your life to that, it's just gonna take your joy out.
And unrealistic standards such as escapism, like escapism. No. You do things because you're busy, like trying to cope with stress, trying to find a way to cope with stress. In social media, you think social media is that key to cope with the key to cope with that.
Okay. I think social media plays a big part in it because people might try to like base their life of what they see other people posting or like doing.
I think, first of all, I hate social media. I'm being honest, I really do. But it does play a huge role in how everyone views life. Cause I'm 15. Why is everyone in Kurt Geiger purses and stuff like that? And I feel like people have forgotten to realize like we're all humans and we all go through our own stuff. And it really becomes like what Jordan said, an alternate reality.
And I agree when she says, you know, social media does make you compare yourself to other things and other people that, like he said, may not be real, like in what you know.
My bad. I'm trying to see. Oh, y'all good? Okay. Okay. Our next questions is how can teens break free from unreal expectations and develop a healthier self-image?
You can break free from that by like just stepping back and being more realistic, I guess, with yourself. We all see all the famous people that have money, but we don't realize that there are way more people, way more millionaires than we think. It's not just the ones that we see online. And once you realize that, you can realize that you don't have to have success with fame. You can just have success and a happy life instead of success, fame, and a happy life. Like, you don't have to have all the fancy stuff in life, but you can still have $1 million.
I feel like maybe distancing yourself from social media would help, just with like seeing that there's more to it. Like, try not to base your life off of what you see someone else doing. Like, just because somebody has money because they're an actor doesn't mean you have to become an actor. Like, you could become whatever you want, because people make millions of dollars off of like anything you can think of in the world. So like, if you have a passion towards something, just going and doing that for the sake of it, and then worrying about the money part later.
Uh,
Another thing that can change social media is telling everybody about this podcast and pushing this, because the more support that Jeremiah gets, it changes the game. And now everything becomes more positive. It's positive to be cool. So let's just make sure we let everybody that we know about what Jeremiah is doing, what we can change. And the last thing I want to throw out there is you talking about success. There's a quote that says, those 95% of the people that do exactly what they just learned are always successful. So when you're in class, when you go home, you learn something, go try it right away. When somebody teaches you something, try it right away. 95% of you will be successful. And Jeremiah is a perfect example. So let's make sure we support this. And with this, it's going to change the face and the narrative of what's cool and what's positive. That's awesome.
If you see me, like, I think if you see anybody up here on the panel, like scratching their head or something, it's extremely hot in here. So I just want to let y'all know, we not weirdos. It's hot, very hot. Okay. I would say the way you could take control of your future is find a good group of people. There's a quote out there. I'm not great at citing quote and like requoting them, but there's a quote out there that says, if you hang around 4 drunkards, you'll become the 5th. And if you hang around 4 millionaires, you'll become the 5th millionaire. You become the product of what you're surrounding yourself with. So if you're surrounding yourself with negative people all the time and they're constantly talking down on you, talking down on themselves, you'll slowly start to pick up the trait of talking down on yourself just because it's common. But if you hang around people who want to be successful, who are working out, who want to do something with their life, who is chasing a goal every single day, eventually, even if you don't have a goal you're chasing after or you're doing something positive, eventually the people you're surrounding yourself with will start to influence you to get a goal, to develop a goal, to chase a dream, to do better. You got to have people around you who are going to make you do better and then want you to do better. Because oftentimes we hang around people who just want to see us do good, but not better than them. And that's too common.
I think by hanging around people that'll help you grow to what you want to be.
I think success comes from within, not just around, like, from people who are around you. Yes, you become a product of your environment, but you can also change that. I think, well, Mr. Brown and I have been talking with a group of us for a while now, and one of his big things was music. And the music we listen to is a part of why we're sitting here. There's kids getting into fights, or there's kids doing drugs, kids drinking, all that stuff. It's what you bring into your body and what in your mind that is affecting your success as well. I am religious. I don't want to offend anyone when I say this, but I think God is also a very big, a very big aspect in that. Or any God that you praise, Allah, everything like that. I think that's a big thing too.
I feel like you should surround yourself with people that want to be successful. You know what I'm saying? I'm a basketball player, so I surround myself with people that, you feel me, they want to go up in basketball. So they push me to work hard even when I don't even feel like it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like my boy Braden, early mornings, he called my phone, let's go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? I don't be feeling like I be tired, but I go because I know that's what I gotta do to be successful.
I want to touch on something that what's your name? Sorry.
Jasenia.
No.
Miles.
Miles. Sorry. But I want to touch on something Miles said. You notice how he said he played basketball. So he surround himself with someone who wants to do good in basketball. Whatever you want to do, you got to find that crowd of people. Of course, you can have people that like do different things. So like you can have someone that plays basketball, plays soccer, owns a business or does whatever. But when it comes down to being successful in your field and whatever field that may be, you want to find people who are striving to be successful in that field because they'll push you to want to do better. So if you want to be a successful basketball player, find some friends who are going to push you to go to the gym and get shots up. Find some friends who are going to force you to be in uncomfortable situations when y'all are practicing. So that way, when you're in the gym or you're in the game, you now are comfortable with those situations. You got to have people who are going to help you learn in those fields. So if you want to be in business, have some business friends who are going to make you learn about business. You want to be good at academics, find some smart kids who are going to help you be good at academics. You got to find your group of people. And then if you're doing the right things in that field, those people will find you eventually. Don't just go out there going for everybody. I say that too. Our next question is, our next topic is, why don't young people listen to older people's advice or seasoned people's advice? I know they don't like to be called older. So seasoned. I'm going to ask this question. I'm going to ask this one. Do you think young people ignore older generations or seasoned generations because they think they know better, or because the advice doesn't reflect their reality?
I think that the advice might not always reflect the reality, because like times have changed. We live in a world where social media is the thing, like it's the most prominent thing out there. We all have it, and we all have access to it. So I'd say that advice that we get in terms of what to do and what not to do sometimes is clouded by what we see other people doing and having success in doing around us online.
I feel that younger people ignore older generations just because they feel like that their advice is not really helping them because they're older and they're younger, and the kids feel like they don't understand the situation they're in. But in reality, like the older people have been through your shoes or like where you've been. And I feel like, especially when it comes to like high school and college, like older people know like what they're talking about, and especially in terms of like how you project yourself as a person, just because like if you want to go to college, you want to be able to go to a college for sports, academics, whatever it is. I feel like their advice will help you just because they've maybe went to college, maybe didn't, and a reason because of that could be because of how they projected themselves when they were kids. So
I would agree that we live in a completely different world than before, just because of social media and a variety of other reasons. But I do believe that older or seasoned people have the experience in the game. Like if you actually take time to talk to some more seasoned individuals or more older individuals, you will understand that their advice is actually extremely helpful. Like my first mentor, Buster Brown, he helped me get into the field I'm doing now with communications and public speaking and podcasting. He helped me get into this field. So like if you take time and just listen without an agenda. And then I'm also going to say, for the more seasoned individuals, you guys have to come to us without an agenda. You got to listen to us. You got to talk to us and not at us. We're human beings. We want to have conversations. We listen. We hope y'all listen too. So it's got to be mutual. We all got to, we got to do a better job at communicating with one another, not talking at a person, but talking to them so you can get to know that person and then build a genuine connection.
Do you still have a question? Do you still got something to say?
The present is not like, not, it isn't like how they used to that. It was how, oh my goodness.
Take your time. You got.
Like he said before, the present is not like, it doesn't, not like, it's not like anything how things were, how they used to back. It's a new generation. It's gonna be hard to like convince the new generation to like communicate and do things that aren't technology related, like video games. Lazy procrastination. Yeah, that's all. Sorry.
No, you're all
That sounded good.
Not only have time to change, but also try to have a little scope or more naive, don't try to do it all on our own.
Combination of both too. I feel like as times have changed for you, that as an excuse to say not listening to them. When in reality, they've been in similar situations, and whether they succeed at where we're at or not, they can tell us what to do and what not to do. So I think at a certain point, we do need to listen to them to a certain extent.
I think people in younger generations don't listen because they think like they know more, but really they should be taken into consideration because they're telling us for a reason because they probably went through it before.
I think children of our younger generation do use social media as like, oh, okay, like y'all haven't been through this, y'all don't understand. But the older generations, more seasoned generations have been through a lot. So I feel as if we, as like Gen Z and everything like that, we should take what they say, use it, but also be like, okay, I'm gonna take what you said, but I'm also gonna use my knowledge of what's going on in my time and, work with it.
I feel like the younger generation's ego also plays a part. You know what I'm saying? We might feel like as if the older generation, what they're saying to us is childish. And I just feel like that's not good.
All right, our next topic is young people's negative thought patterns. Actually, before I go on to the next topic, I just want to check in with the crowd. Everybody good? Anyone want to say anything? We good? Just making sure.
So I'm gonna speak as a seasoned person. Seasoned person, teenager, a lot of times you don't want to be that parent because you may have that parent in your life that's made a lot of mistakes. So then you watch them make the mistakes when they're in a relationship with somebody and they just keep doing it. So when they try to speak to you, you're not trying to hear that from them. But what you need to listen is they're trying to tell you the mistake that they made. They don't want you to make the mistakes they did. So your question was, why don't you listen to the seasoned older people? You ain't trying to hear that as a teenager. You watch your moms make that mistake, you watch your dad make that mistake, and you're not trying to hear nothing they got to say. But they're coming from a point of, I did bad, I need you to do better. So a lot of times that's why teenagers shut it out, especially ones that don't live in perfect, ideal home lives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with what you said. I'm a seasoned person too. But just talking to parents. Every Wednesday, my son and I, Well, now my younger son, I have the older boys, but I did it with them too. Every Wednesday, we meet. And I tell them, tell me everything that you're doing or you've done that's not good. And I will not hold you accountable. You will not get in trouble. I can never bring it up again. But understand, you have to let me help you stop doing it. Right? So have open, honest dialogue with your parents and bring them into your world. Right? Bring them into your world and allow them to bring you into theirs. And when you meet halfway, you're gonna have an awesome relationship with your parents and seasoned people like yourself. I like seasoned.
Yeah, you know, I thought season was like a great compromise and calling y'all old and then like saying y'all still got some youth in you kind of thing, where it's like, you know, yeah, it's still saying young, yeah. That's my kind of thing. Okay. My next topic is young people's negative thought patterns. Why do so many young people struggle with self-doubt and negative self-talk? And how can they break out of that mindset?
I think people struggle with that because they believe that people are either against them or they believe that they're supposed to just have an automatic backing in their corner. That when we really think about it, like when you walking down the street, everybody else not worried about, you know, what you're doing, what you're wearing, other than the people that you're around constantly. Like if you ever notice, some of the only people that will ever give you like a compliment or say something negative to you about the way that you look or what you're doing is some of the people that are around you. And that's because everybody else, they walk past you, they don't say anything because they're living their own life. They have their own things going on. They could care less about what you got going on. And when you realize that not everybody is against you and that everybody else is living too, then you can get out of that self-hate part.
Yeah. You know, I think as an athlete, that's a really big thing. You know, you see kids that you've maybe played with before that you think you're better than, or like you don't think they're that good, that you see maybe posting things about getting offers or college coaches taking interest in them. And I feel like that really is like not good for your mindset, just because you don't know like really if that offer is real. You don't know if they can even get into college, like those kind of things. And I feel like you just have to realize that you're following your own process. Like they might be getting it early, but then later on they didn't get any better or things happen. But you taking your time, just putting in work, I feel like that can help. That just like puts in the right mindset for you.
I would say the mindset that helped me is the you versus you mindset. Every day is me versus me. I'm not worried about what the next person is doing. I'm not worried about what my brother's doing. I'm worried about what I got going on. And as long as I can do better than myself than what I did yesterday, then I did good. I achieved something positive. So I like to give out this crazy example. It's not true. I'm gonna just say this now. So it's crazy, but it's not true about my personal life. Okay. Let's say last week I got into 10 fights, and this next week I want to get into 5 fights. Again, it's a crazy example, but if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, it's improvement. So maybe I was fighting every day last week, but this week I don't want to do that no more. I want to tone down my fighting. So every day, the mindset you have to have is it's me versus me. It's not me versus my best friend. It's not me versus my friend. It's not me versus my mom. It's not me versus the dude I'm looking up to on social media. It's me versus me every single day. And when you adopt that mindset, there's nothing nobody can say that's going to throw you off your rocker, that's going to rock your boat too hard where you can't get back to where you need to be. So I would say develop a mindset of it's me versus me every single day.
I think self-doubt plays a lot in that, when you should really have that me versus me mindset.
I agree with her. Self-doubt is a really big thing. Also, I think, like, again, I am a very religious person. Jesus did not die on that cross for no reason. There is no reason why you should be sitting here hating on yourself or anything like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That was the main.
Yeah, I just feel like young people care too much of what other people think of them. You know what I'm saying? It should just always be you versus you and just keep working.
Let's say you're down, like you go on social media, see it. Is it gonna make you feel? We good? Just wanna make sure you still good. Okay. All right. Our next topic is smoking in school. Is it a trend or is it a cry for help? The question for this topic is the rise in smoking and vaping at school a result of peer pressure, or is it a deeper issue related to stress or mental health or whatever?
I think it might be a little bit of both. I think influence plays a big part in it because when you see other people around you, like they may smoke, be like laid back and whatnot, and then like you see it yourself and you like, hold on, I want to be laid back too. I want to be chill. You feel what I'm saying? And and yeah, that's a real feeling. But then like I also think it could be related to like, you know, like what's going on mentally, what's going on in your mind in that moment. Like you may be thinking to yourself like, well, they look happier when they smoking, they look happier when they vaping. So you may want some of that happiness and that's why you do it.
I feel like kind of like what he says, a little bit of both, but it's kind of where, one person might have started doing it because it made them feel better about themselves, or, it helped get rid of the pain that they were going through. But then another person does it because they see them doing it, but they're not going through the same things that the person who started doing it was, and it just like becomes like a domino effect. And I feel like that's like really bad.
Um, I've never smoked or vaped in my life, so I couldn't honestly answer this question because I don't have personal experience with it. But what I would say is I think it's a result of peer pressure. I think when you look around and you see, like I mentioned earlier, your friend group. If you got people in your friend group who are like doing smoking or vaping or anything, you be like, dang, why you always vaping, smoking? And they may give you a valid reason, they may not, or they may tempt you to try it. They'll be like, here, you try it and you see why I do it. You never know. So I really do think peer pressure is kind of the root of this issue. Maybe it started off with someone who wanted to do it to relieve mental health or some kind of reasoning that they have for themselves. But now we got people doing it just because my friend's doing it and it looks cool. But in reality, it has a ton of like health risk. Does a lot of stuff to you as a person and your mental health. And now we just got people out here doing it because it looked cool. I think peer pressure is like the root of this issue, at least for me.
I think it does start out like slow training, but I do want to say that vaping is cool. You ever heard the word term like if you then your vision's gonna get worse. Well, I think now if you vape, you're probably gonna effects that people can do. They already had like depression without it. So at that point, when you start vaping, you're gonna start having depression or anxiety without it. All those things that you didn't have before are gonna come onto you, and that's gonna break the need to keep happy and keep being addicted to it.
Kind of what he said, but I really feel like some people like really start focusing like it's like poor and stuff like that. But I think they see other people like encourage them to start studying. People is more like so I think with the right
I think both, but I think peer pressure plays a big part. Because if you like in a group of people and they all doing it and you're not, then you might feel the need to do it to like fit in.
I agree with Anaya. I think peer pressure is the start of it. But I think once a student or a child or whatever, they do, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna hit this blunt or smoke this vape or whatever, then I'm so sorry. Then he told me to be real.
Be real, yeah. That's what I want, yeah.
But then it turns into, okay, I was calm or I was chill, I was finna crash out. Now I'm relaxed. It turns into something more. I do think it is a cry for help as well. Like, and they people use it as an escape from their reality or from their issues that they're going through.
I think both, but I really think that peer pressure is like the main factor. Because I feel like if you just hang around people that just smoke all day, you know what I'm saying, you might feel left out. So you might just pick it up so you don't feel left out anymore.
All right, so we are coming to the end of our time. I know you guys have dismissal and it's about to hit 4:00. So the podcast, this is the ending of the podcast. Unfortunately, we didn't get to every topic and every question. So I am going to leave you guys with the topics that we had left. We had 3 topics left. So feel free when you're walking around school, among your tables, or however you get back home, feel free to start a conversation with somebody else and get to know their answer. So the last 3 topics we had left were growing up in a Black household. We had immaturity. Is immaturity growth or a lack of responsibility? And then for our final and last question, the role of God in young people's lives. You can talk about it all day and we didn't even get to it. But can you all give my my panelists a big round of applause? I think they did amazing. This is a lot of people to speak in front of. Not your average person can speak in front of 100+ students. This is quite a bit of y'all. But I think all my panelists did an amazing job. I want to thank my audience members. If you didn't say anything, if you did say anything, I want to thank you all for being a part of the interactive discussion. I do have like cookies, I think. Yeah, I have cookies for some of y'all. I hope I don't run out. I didn't expect it to be this many of y'all. But I will give out what I have and do my best. Again, check out my Instagram at Jeremiah Jet for clips of the podcast and YouTube Useful Conversations to see the full length podcast and get to hear what we said. Again, I want to thank you all for being a part of my tour, Southwest High School. Thank you guys for being a part of it.
So wait.
Oh my God, they're talking.
I know you my heart. I'm not gonna lie, wait. We get too wet. I'm getting anybody. No, because I know. No, I'm sorry. It's in way. I can't look. It wait. It wait. I got to be. Whoever's in the situation, either you still have wrong. Wait, you know. Oh, God. Well, you know what it is.